Hi, and welcome to episode 36 of the Muscle News and Merlin Bodybuilding Contest. I was going to say podcast.
Maybe one day.
The Muscle News and Merlin Bodybuilding Podcast, episode 36 with my good buddy Eric Brozer, who's looking much better and
Yeah, yeah,
full
I
of
hope so.
food after going for lunch with Mr. Jay Cutler and David, I guess, right?
Yes, yes. Last weekend, Jay was heading over. He was training at there's a really nice gym like right across the street from the Cheesecake Factory, which is like Jay's favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
So Jay's been training at this place called the Kilo Club. If any of you guys come to Vegas, great place to try to train. Um, and he was doing a leg workout there, and Dave was filming him doing the leg workout. And then he wanted to go over to Cheesecake Factory for a post-workout meal, and they texted me and like, "Hey Eric, meet us here if you feel up to it." So yeah, so I met him at the Cheesecake Factory and had my first. I mean, it was a cheat meal. Obviously, I've just been eating like healthy foods, but it was like the biggest meal I've eaten since being out of the hospital. But it was really cool being. I love being with Dave and Jay. It's a lot of fun. And then Jay was nice enough to interview me after,
Yeah,
so
his yeah.
it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
five
Yeah,
5 minute interview. You have to do your whole like career in like, 2 minutes.
I know. I could have said like I could have stayed with that for like. I'm like Jay, just do a whole podcast with me, man.
So
So, but it was a lot of fun.
yeah, I had a normal week. Then went out with the family on the weekend. I ate my rack of ribs as usual. I love them. And here it's windy like crazy again. I this wind doesn't want to stop this year. But anyways, it will
Crazy
pass.
weather in Vegas, though. I could tell you it's 70 degrees and sunny right now, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, will pass.
And I'm back at the gym, guys. I went
Good.
back to the gym on Monday
Great.
and Tuesday, so I'm back to lifting, and but I still have to go to for you for those of you who know that I had the blood clot thing, and then I was
Yeah,
in the hospital. Not going to rehash the whole thing, but I
yeah,
still have some doctors that I got to see,
of
some
course.
things I got to work out, but hopefully we're on the mend, but
Yeah.
not missing any more shows.
Oh yeah, we
Don't want to
missed
miss
one. It's
our.
all right. We took a break after, it was what, 34? We took a break for 1 week. So this week, a lot of strange things happening. Uh, we got some, you know, they're, I don't care what negative or not. They're good reactions from the last show we did about women's bodybuilding and if it's
Yeah.
become too extreme from what maybe the thing I put Corey Everson and then a picture of that Russian female bodybuilding freak and maybe
Yeah.
some females got offended or you
Well,
you, you can't tell me what happened.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about, somebody who did get it. I know a couple of people got, I don't want to say offended, but like kind of felt like we were putting women's bodybuilding in a negative light.
Yeah.
And what I tried to explain is that we weren't trying to actually what we are. They were trying to. Some people are thinking like we're not supporting women's bodybuilding, but that's
No,
actually
no.
the opposite.
Yeah.
We do support women's bodybuilding, and you and I want to see the sport grow. We want to see that division become bigger than it is, not smaller. So what we were basically talking about is what maybe is the reason why
Yeah.
shows are being dropped, prize money is being dropped, less girls are showing up.
Exactly.
And that was it because we don't want to see that happen. We want to see it flourish. And we are seeing a decline in shows and, prize money at some of the big shows. And we don't see very much NPC women's bodybuilding divisions included. And we want to see all that change. So what we were just basically speaking to is, and again, it was not a personal opinion thing.
Oh no.
Girls, you do it. I mean, it's your body. You do what you want with it. If you want to
Exactly.
look like a certain way, that is completely your decision. But we were just wondering, is maybe the public not accepting it, and that is why maybe the sport is not growing or is actually declining because we don't
Yeah.
want to see that happen. So, and also, of course, we're also worried about people's health,
Hmm.
because as unhealthy as a lot of these PEDs are for men, it's probably in a sense even more unhealthy for women.
Yeah.
So, I think that I just want people to understand that we're coming in from the standpoint of supporting female bodybuilding and wanting to see it flourish, not the opposite.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah.
we were just talking about what, you know, the possibility was, and we thought maybe it was that the physiques are getting a little too extreme. And
Yeah.
listen, another thing I pointed out to this couple of the gals who contacted me was that I personally think that men's bodybuilding in some senses is getting too extreme. Like
Of
I even
course.
want to see,
Yeah.
I don't think it's just that. I think if you look at why classic physique has become so big so fast, is because there's a lot of people who prefer
Exactly.
that look, not as extreme,
Yeah.
you know. And I personally, again, this is my personal opinion, and people might feel differently. I think the physiques of the men's bodybuilding of like the 80s and 90s is superior to what we're seeing today in the sense of, you know,
Popularity.
more completeness and
Yeah.
hardness and symmetry, proportion, and having more of emphasis on that than raw size. Again,
Yeah.
that's an opinion thing. Some people today might think, oh, bodybuilding has progressed. I want to see the guys weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's an opinion thing. But also, you got to think about what's going to make, you know, a lot of people have complained or said stuff like, how come bodybuilding doesn't get any sponsorships from like Nike or
Yeah.
Budweiser or big
Yeah.
companies? You want to think about that too, because mostly it's funded by supplement companies, which is
Yeah.
within the industry, or
Yeah.
equipment companies or clothing companies, but not the big sponsors. And is that because it's become too much for the general public? So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just that stuff to talk
Listen,
about. It's not really it's not
I mean,
really to condemn anything.
it's one, we're just, like I said, giving our opinion, what we think, why it's not, it's getting excluded from many shows. But remember, Arnold was one of the first to take it off of his show. Remember that. Then the
Yeah.
Olympia followed suit, and then it just kept going on. And to be fair, one of the only reasons that women's bodybuilding became slightly popular again is because Jake Wood
Jake
bought
Wood
out
really brought it
bought out
back.
the Olympia, and one of the main things he wanted to do was put the Olympia, Miss Olympia, back in. Now, saying this, there's no guarantee if one day Jake sells the Olympia, if the new person that takes over is going to keep female bodybuilding. You know what I mean? The new person might remove men's open class, who knows, and keep classic. You know what I mean? So there's no there's no guarantee. I mean, women's bodybuilding, even men's bodybuilding, is on a decline compared to men's physique and classic physique. You know?
Listen, the biggest divisions, like you're saying, with the most competitors, classic physique, men's physique, and
Yeah,
then on the women's side,
yeah,
bikini,
yeah,
probably now the fit model thing,
yeah. That's going to take
and
off.
and wellness.
Yeah,
Um, you don't see as much. I mean, I'd say that figure has kind of declined a little bit. I'm not really sure why.
yeah,
Maybe that because that's gotten a little extreme. But physique is still pretty popular, but women's bodybuilding, there's not as many girls.
yeah,
So, you know, we see a shift. So there's got to be a reason for this shift.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know, we want to see all the divisions flourish, and, you know, it's our sport, you know, and
Exactly, exactly.
you know,
And we have to remember, um, in some, Arab states and stuff like that, men cannot show themselves in posing trunks and remove, they can't show parts of their body. So men's physique is very popular there.
well, yeah, well, that's
And
because of that. Yeah,
and
well, that's a
that's
different thing, but
why so many fantastic physiques are coming from there because
yeah.
they cannot bodybuild comfortably, So, um, lots of factors. And I mean, female bodybuilding, again, it's some of them are extreme, but like I said, like we said, they can do what they want, but they can't expect everybody to accept it, because
Yeah, the more extreme it gets, the
yeah,
more niche the sport's going to
yeah,
be.
yeah,
If we want to see the sport really grow, you have to start thinking. And that's and again, another thing I want to point out is that I do not blame the athletes. I blame the judging.
yeah,
Because, and again, not in a negative way, like I blame the judges, you're terrible.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just mean that if the judges are rewarding a
yeah,
more extreme physique, girls who want to be competitive, or and guys are
yeah,
going to go for the extreme look because they want to win.
yeah,
Except there are some people out there who might say, you know what, I'm not going to that level. I don't want to take it that far, and
yeah,
that's fine.
yeah,
But you're still going to get the people like, I don't care. I want to win the Olympia, and they're going to go to that extreme. So if the judges started judging if they looked at the sport and said, "Hey, we want it to grow, maybe it's too extreme," and they started letting, if Chris Bumstead became
Yeah.
what the open men was supposed to look like,
Oh,
that's what the guys would start to look. I mean, think, speaking of Chris Bumstead, who's got the biggest Instagram account of any
yeah,
bodybuilder? It's
yeah,
like Chris,
yeah.
bigger
Listen,
than all of them.
when people, some young guys that don't even like, I know people that don't follow bodybuilding, but you know, yeah, Chris Bumstead won Mr. Olympia. It's like, yeah, he's not Mr. Olympia really. You know what I
Right. They
mean?
still don't
But
consider that Mr. Olympia,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
really.
He's the
They say it's
face.
classic Olympia.
He's the face. He was the face and still is the face of bodybuilding, you know. And even though he stepped away, uh, now we have to see. It would be nice to see, like, what's going to happen in the next 2 years with Chris not being there, because people talk about Chris all year. What's his name that won the Classic Physique Olympia? Uh,
Ramon?
Dino, right?
Ramon.
Uh, Nobody, it's not like, no, he's not in your face like Chris is all the time, so
Chris is like 25 million followers. And I mean,
yeah,
he's just very popular. And
yeah,
people, when, okay, I'll just say this. Like when I get new clients, basically, one of the things I'll ask them is, who do you aspire to look like? 9 out of 10 times, it's either like a Chris Bumstead,
yeah,
Frank Zane,
yeah,
like those looks, or a physique guy.
yeah,
It's very, very rarely a Hadi Choopan or a Samson
yeah,
Dowd because most people don't want to look that
yeah,
extreme. I personally, listen, I went into the sport to be a bodybuilder. I ended up building a physique that's probably more along the lines of classic today. Um, and I always appreciate the mass monsters and all the muscle and stuff like that. But, looking at, if you see, Hadi Choopan walking on a beach somewhere, most
yeah,
women are going to look at him and go, that's disgusting.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if you see like a Ramon Dino walking somewhere, they'd be
of
like, that's
course,
beautiful. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So it's not, everybody is allowed to
yeah,
have their own opinion, and,
yes,
and, and we're
yes,
not
yes, yes,
condemning anyone's
yeah,
opinion, but we're just thinking about it from the standpoint, especially
yeah,
with the women.
yeah,
We want to see it grow. So we're
yeah.
questioning, what is it? Could it be the physique situation?
Listen, it's not any
That's it.
easier to look like Chris than it is to look like Jay Cutler. You still have to do the same workouts. You have
Oh,
to
yeah,
eat.
yeah. Yeah. There's just,
Maybe you have to work out even more to keep your body, to that condition and to keep the size down. And, so it's a touchy subject, but some women, like you explained to me, one of the people that talked to you,
yeah. Yeah. And I,
so
and I, and I, and it made me sad because I didn't want her to think,
yeah,
because
yeah.
she's a client of mine, and I coach her, and she's a female bodybuilder and one of the best in my opinion.
I
I personally
wish,
think that her physique should
yeah,
be the way the girl should look.
yeah,
But I didn't want her to think that I don't support women's bodybuilding, because I do.
yeah,
That's exactly why we did what we did, because
yeah,
we don't want to
yeah.
see shows dropped out of the
Of
schedule. We
course.
don't want to see prize money less. We
Yeah,
want to see,
yeah,
like any other division in the sport, we want to see it
yeah,
grow and flourish. So we were just talking about,
yeah.
so that's the standpoint we were coming
They
from at.
they 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 should have wrote in the comments and we could have got a debate going.
Yeah.
That they
I
have to
mean,
write in the
yeah.
comments.
But
Like,
again,
yeah,
the judges are
yeah,
going to pretty much bring out the direction of
yeah, of
what
course. Yeah,
is going to be in the sport in every division,
exactly.
from bikini up to men's physique, up to classic physique, up
Yeah,
to open bodybuilding. Men and
yeah,
the judges are the ones who's going to create the standard. So it's up to
yep,
the judges what is going to be brought to the stage, and then
exactly.
the athletes are going to do what they got to do to get there, because
Yeah,
athletes are athletes, man. Athletes of all sports, man, they're willing to do whatever they have to do to be the best.
exactly. So, man,
Anyway,
so I started talking Maltese almost. So,
we started talking in
I
Maltese.
was gonna start talking in Maltese because we
Ah,
were
that'd have been
talking before
funny.
the show about
I would have been
languages.
like, what?
Um, Now, going into the next part, because we're saying extreme and stuff, I have this to show.
I know what
Um,
this is going to be. This is going to be the
yeah,
oxygen mask.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're seeing this? I mean, this is Serge, right? The Russian guy, Sergey, or whatever his name is. I saw him. I bumped into him at a show 2 years ago in
He's
Europe
a monster.
in his off-season mode, and it's like I hit a brick wall. It's like it
Well,
started
the
to
guy's
get
muscle.
dark around me. So
Yeah.
he has an oxygen thing there. All right. He's taking oxygen. Now, there's another guy in this clip that I put up. Look at this kid. He's only 25 or 24.
Jeez.
It was really short. But
He was quick,
anyways,
but man, that was
yeah.
a physique,
So,
man.
you know, do these guys need to do this crap?
See,
You
that's
know,
my question. You showed this to me first, and then I started seeing it. And I'm questioning, I'm like, is this because they have a condition whereby they need to take in oxygen while they're training?
yeah,
Or is this a new thing that a coach is pushing and saying, "Oh, if you use oxygen during workout, you're going to be stronger, you're going to get better."
yeah.
I don't know which it is.
I think if that was the case, it would have been done many years ago. I know there's oxygen sometimes backstage at an event, but the athletes are at
That's
their,
different. If they're completely out of breath and they want to get
yeah,
their breath back, I
okay.
mean, that's still sad that they need to do it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but I
But
know. But
but but still, I understand that. That's just like a
is
quick thing.
is that the image we want to show? I mean, I read that he did an interview. Sergey, the Russian guy, he's already had a heart attack. I mean, I'm not saying people don't have heart attacks, but come on, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, there's that kid that's 24, 25. He's with the oxygen mask training. Now, either I thought, are they doing this just to get the likes and the hits, you know? But then you see
That too.
him doing it. He's in prep for the Olympia, you know, because he's qualified for the Olympia this year. He won
Right.
in
Right.
France,
Right.
right? So for me, that's not showing the image of health. It's like many people are saying, you know, if you want to hit that extreme, you know, bodybuilding is not healthy. Okay, it's not 100% healthy, but you don't need to go to that extreme where you need an oxygen mask to you need the oxygen to get through your final set, you know. I mean, something
No.
is wrong. I
No. I mean, Tom Platz used to squat 225 pounds for 10
yeah,
minutes straight. Could you
yeah,
imagine? I mean, that's going to take up a lot of oxygen. He didn't in a mass. So I do agree, though. Again, if let's just say that he or a bodybuilder had some type of condition to where they particularly needed oxygen to get through a workout, whatever it may be, that's kind of one thing. But overall, when you look at that's gonna if somebody who doesn't know about body, they're gonna look at that and go, look at these guys. They're
yeah,
so much big and they're on so much drugs
yeah,
because bodybuilders already have this terrible reputation that they can't walk, they can't
yeah,
move, they
yeah,
can't
yeah,
they can't jog, they can't all these complete misnomers, and it's just that they're so muscle bound, they can't
yeah, yeah,
move, they can't
yeah,
they
yeah,
can't stretch, whatever. So now if the people are gonna start seeing oxygen masks on them,
yeah, yeah,
I'm nervous what the public is going to even think about
yeah.
that. I mean, that's going to
Now,
push bodybuilding further
if he maybe
away
was, you
from the
know, with
public.
his diet, because he looked like he's in good condition there, um, feeling faint during the workout, and, you know, some sports scientist tells him take some oxygen while you're doing your final sets. You don't need to show it on social media, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
Keep
I
it to
don't.
yourself, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't. There's a lot of very. I mean, I'm sure that especially the old school guys would look at that and laugh. I mean, like, come on.
You know,
Arnold would look at like and be like, I used to train for 4 hours at a time. I didn't need
yeah.
oxygen.
And
You know,
and again, a promoter, he sees that, you know, some promoters might say, am I going to take the risk of this guy walking on my stage? You know what I mean? And
yeah, I would want to know what are you using that oxygen for? Are
yeah,
you
yeah,
is this a possible health concern that you could die on my stage?
yeah, yeah.
Or
I mean, you know, you have to consider these things. I mean, it's not something I would want to see, you know. It's just I don't know. I when I saw it this week, you know, sometimes I get in a mood and certain things piss me off, and I'll just, you know, share it and ask a question. I mean, 99% of the comments were uh, against it, and one guy said if I needed to get through a set, it's all right. But I mean, come on. I mean, and it, I'm noticing there's a lot of these young bodybuilders. Sometimes I do think it's for the hits and stuff like that and subscribers, but I'm sorry, but that's the experience I have in bodybuilding, that's not on. They can say what they want about me. I don't care. I think it's a stupid thing. I think they should not promote it, and it's not good. I mean, can you imagine this, the Russian bodybuilder Sergey? Can you imagine? He's trying to get a supplement brand, and the supplement brand's trying to put out the look of health. And you have your main athlete taking oxygen, wearing the shirt of like whatever, ABC supplements, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. You know what I
No,
mean?
and kids, I mean kids, younger guys coming into sport, they get influenced by
Yeah,
people like this too. The
yeah,
last thing you want to see is guys going, "Oh man, I better get an
yeah,
oxygen tank to bring with me to
yeah,
the gym if I
yeah.
want to get big."
And
What are you going to do? Walk into a
yeah,
gym, everybody's going to be walking around with an
and
oxygen
that is
tank?
one of the reasons this will work against the top body open bodybuilders is that is why many companies are moving away from sponsoring hardcore bodybuilders and going into the mainstream. Redcon, we can mention that. Hostile, he said he's cutting down on investing in athletes and
Well,
he's
you can
moving on.
clearly see it.
Listen, I mean, I don't blame them. You know, if you can't, maybe, it's like I've been to the gym many times when parents asks me, my kid wants to start training, he's very young, what should he do? Boxing or bodybuilding, and I sometimes the things I used to, and I know I would know their parents, and it's like I don't want to take that responsibility, and I would tell them to go upstairs and do a couple of years of training and boxing with the good trainer, and he takes care of them. There's none of this, the hardcore stuff in the gym. You don't want to take that response, and then they see this some guy training like that on social media, and they say, I don't want my kid to end up like that at 30 years old.
Yeah,
So
it's not a good look.
it's not
Not
a
a good
good
look.
look. Absolutely not.
And did anything, I didn't read the post. I mean, I didn't read the post. Was there anything about why he was using oxygen in the post? Was there anything explaining it?
I don't know. I can't look. I can
Yeah,
look.
look to
I
see
can't.
if there's an explanation.
I can. It's probably in Russian, but this week
Oh,
the
well, that's okay.
translations weren't working that well. I don't know on Instagram. It's crazy
Yeah. So I'd be
sometimes.
curious to know, was there anything that said
Yeah,
he needs it for some reason, or
yeah,
this is his new technique? I mean,
yeah. He had that video with the bear, and that's not AI. Did you see that video
no,
that he's with the bear? Jesus
no, I
Christ.
didn't see it. What was he hanging out with a bear and then with the same size?
He made the bear look small.
Well, it might can't have been a big bear because bears could be 600, 800
Look
pounds.
at this. We can laugh. I mean, we're here, so we can laugh, have a good laugh. Look at this.
Oh no, that bear, if it stood up on its back two
It
feet,
does stand. There's a part where it's that he's a big boy. I'm telling you.
he's a big guy, but I'm saying if that bear wanted to rip him in half, he could. Thank God the bear doesn't have an oxygen mask on.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Man, that's wow, that must be a well-trained bear because that would be scary.
Look at that.
Look at that.
It's
The
not.
bear
It's not
likes him.
AI. It's not AI. I watched it a million times.
Well, you can find out if it's AI. You could put it into a thing.
I don't think it's AI.
I would not want my hand in that bear's mouth.
I know. I know. No, let me
You
find
just
that out
don't ever know.
because he posts like crazy.
Yeah, but is there anything with the oxygen
I'm
post? Is there
trying to
anything that
find it. Uh, Here it is. Let me see. 340 pounds. Let's go to 350. Yeah. All
oh, he's
right.
trying to be a Samson Dauda.
So, what's his name? Ed Connors. You know what he said here? Dangerous territory. Dallas McCarver, who was 6 feet tall, weighed 350 pounds when he died.
I
Wow.
don't know if he was that big.
Wow. So it's crazy.
Yeah, but there was no there's
No,
no
no, he didn't say anything.
there's no
He
explanation.
didn't say anything.
We live in a world where self-destructive behavior is applauded.
Yeah, yeah, you seeing that?
Yeah. Yeah, but then you have some people going, basically
Some people will,
go get it, man. And then you have other people
yeah,
saying this is,
yeah.
but nobody's
Well,
really addressing the
no, no, he
fact that he has
didn't.
oxygen on.
Yeah, he didn't say anything about it. He
That
didn't say
see,
anything
I
about
mean,
it.
to me, that's irresponsible. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah,
talk about that because kids are going to look at that and be like, well, I
of
guess I need
course,
oxygen now.
of course. And he's gonna be at the Olympia. So
Hopefully
uh,
not with an oxygen mask on.
I know. Um,
I mean, listen, the guy has an incredible physique. That's why he's qualified for the
yeah,
Olympia. But
yeah,
I definitely think that, I mean, he's a beast. He's certainly not an aesthetic. He's not a Regan Grimes. He's just a beast.
no,
He's a
no.
beast.
He's just a Russian freak, like they all are.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the
They
main point
all
is not it's not even talking about his physique. Is just that
No,
whether
no.
that
It's this.
why is
It's
he
this.
wearing oxygen on his face during training,
Yeah,
and if
it's
it's
this.
not for some health reason, which I would hope it's not,
Yeah, yeah,
is it irresponsible not to say? I mean, I don't. I mean, I've been training for 40 years and I've never needed and I have trained balls to the wall where I'm like on
yeah,
the floor laying down for 5 minutes after a set. I've never needed oxygen.
yeah. Listen, if you feel faint, you just sit down. You know.
I've felt fent a million times. I mean,
Yeah,
do a heavy set of any type of squats or leg
yeah,
presses or whatever. I
yeah,
mean, I'll get up and I'll just sit on the floor or I'll lay down sometimes
yeah,
after sets because,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, not now, but back when I was really going at it,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
squat 405 for 15 reps, you lay on the ground afterwards, but you don't need oxygen.
yeah.
So that's
I
why
know.
I'm confused about that whole thing.
I have to find out more about it. So maybe we can find out the reasons, or anyways. Uh, then what else happened this week? Hadi Choopan. Hadi Choopan.
Yeah. So the question was, people
Just
were
to
worried
say,
whether
just
Hadi
in
was going to
case
make
people
it.
are seeing us a bit, today we had to have a real, real special guest, but I knew he had something to do before the show.
Oh, did he just confirm that he can't
No,
come?
no, 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 he didn't confirm, but either he got stuck in traffic, but I knew he had an important thing to do before the show, and we postponed to accommodate him, but I guess he got stuck, and I
We'll
know
have him on another time.
I know where he went, but I'm not obliged to, I don't want to
Yeah, he'd
sleep
have to
on
talk
that,
about it.
and in fact here it's almost midnight, so we pushed it back, but it's okay. I mean, that's why I understand, things happen, and maybe he'll come in in the next 2 weeks or something, because we might have another guest next week, so it's okay, I was expecting something might happen because when people tell me that from one end they might only have a half an hour to get home, you never know, traffic and things come up, or
He also could have been held up with what he was doing.
maybe the meeting he got held up. So um, so we had to, like, start the show, and
No big deal. We'll just,
oh
you and
no,
I
it's
will
no
just
big
talk
deal.
about stuff.
Things. Listen, things happen. Like anything can happen. I mean, I can be coming up the stairs to do the show, and I might not have internet, or
Hey,
something like
dude,
that.
I couldn't be on the show that one week because I was in the hospital.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
So,
happens.
I'm not gonna, force somebody to do something knowing that, they're doing something for their own business and stuff. That comes first. The podcast it's a bonus. If they come on, for me, it's a bonus. We're prepared, and, you know,
He
um,
he he's a good guy. He's a
no, no,
solid
no, no.
guy.
He'll
And
he'll
if he's
he'll
not
come
here, it's only
on.
because he
He
got held
gave me
up.
his word, and he's a man of his
Yeah.
word. But
But we'll have him
yeah,
on. He'll be on
of
again.
course, of
He'll be
course.
on.
He might.
We're not going to
Listen, he
mention who it
might
is,
pop
but he'll be on.
on without us even knowing. But anyways.
He could still pop on. You never know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Moving on, we have yeah, Hadi Choopan. Now, there's this thing that I've been reading, with the politics and stuff, and Iran and all this stuff, and apparently he's saying that he doesn't agree what's happening, all the deaths and stuff. All right, that shouldn't be. He shouldn't be, you know, uh, attacked for these things. Unfortunately, that's happening in his country or in the other country. Um, So apparently, according to Fuad, that's where I heard it from, he got his visa to come to the USA. Now,
Yeah, and I heard that he's been in Dubai.
yeah. So,
So he
so,
already was out of Iran and was in Dubai, and that's where he's been training
okay.
and hanging out.
So,
So
but still, the question remains if he's going to compete at the Arnold. They don't know yet, Obviously, Arnold would want him there, you
of
know.
course, he's a top threat.
Yeah,
He
and
actually is the top threat, being that he's second best in the world
yeah,
right now.
and if he's not there, many are saying that Andrew Jack can walk away, with the title and
It's going to
just
be, listen, to me, looking at the lineup right now, we have Martin Fitzwater, Nick Walker, Andrew Jack, and Hadi. That's your top four.
yeah,
So now, if we didn't have Hadi, now we know what our top three is. And
yeah.
quite honestly, all three of those guys can take that title.
No, anybody can take that title, but and we can't forget Andrew Jack is training with Kamal El Garni. He's been training with him for a while, as you can see here. Look, I think he's living in Florida. I don't think Kamal went to Dubai. You see that? So he's training with Kamal.
Yep.
So, he's getting trained by one of the most experienced bodybuilders in the world, one of the most decorated bodybuilders in the world. From an amateur side, like we always said, multiple world champion, uh, very successful 212 Olympia, Arnold Classic champion, and the 212. He's the last 212 Arnold Classic champion, and then they stopped it. So, he might be, and he's a very good friend with Chris Aceto. Chris loves him, so they're working all together, and that combination might put Andrew to another level. That's what I believe, because
Well,
Kamal
yeah.
knows what a physique should look like. He doesn't like the extreme stuff. He's always been the smaller bodybuilder, but he always came in that condition. Balanced, combined with Chris's knowledge. Uh, Not only will Andrew I think, make some noise at the Arnold, I think he's going to be, you know, I really believe he's going to be the main challenger at the Olympia, you know.
Well, listen, he was third, right? He was third at the Olympia.
Yeah,
So this is a man who could be Mr. Olympia and he can win the Arnold Classic.
yeah,
He's obviously, maybe with the exception of Samson Dowda, the
yeah,
tallest, biggest guy.
yeah.
I think at the Olympia he would look bigger than Samson because Samson was so downsized. But obviously Samson's way up there now.
Yeah,
So
but
he has that impact
do you
of
think Samson is playing the size game?
I
Uh,
don't agree with Samson going up as high as he's going. I
yeah,
mean, I
that's
think
another.
he's going, I think he's getting a little too not that listen, not that he looks out of shape because he
No, no,
looks,
no. He looks great.
but he doesn't look, I know it's really hard to believe. I was actually discussing this with Jay a little bit over the weekend. It's amazing that he weighs like 340 and he doesn't even look as big as Ronnie did when Ronnie was like 295 and in shape. Like, I don't know,
Yeah,
Ronnie's physique was just something, I don't know, Ronnie Coleman.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, everybody could have different opinions, but I mean, I think that Samson's gonna knows that he still has to be in really good condition. So where is he? I mean, I don't know, 345 pounds, whatever he's at.
yeah.
I don't know. But in
But
terms of Andrew, I think Andrew, if he can just keep improving and come in even a little bit sharper, improve the sweep on his thighs, get a
yeah,
little bit bigger arms, forearms, he's a very dangerous guy because he's gonna tower over. There's just that impact of being tall and wide, that just is very impressive on stage. So if
yeah,
he comes in at top, it's gonna be very difficult to beat. But you have very different this is a very interesting. Let's just say Hadi's in it, which I
yeah,
hope he is. It's a very, very eclectic top four. Like Nick's physique, from Martin's physique,
yeah,
from Andrew's physique, from Hadi's physique, are four really different
yeah,
types
yeah,
of physiques. You got Nick, who's get hard and freaky. You got
yeah,
Martin, who's like
yeah,
symmetrical and very full,
yeah,
and but gets grainy. And then you have Andrew, who's tall and wider than everybody, and
yeah,
then you have Hadi, who's just like a dense fire plug of
yeah,
grainy muscle. They're just very different. It'd be a very interesting Arnold.
yeah.
I hope Hadi gets
Um,
there.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what you think. Let me see. It's a Phil got to my back. Some people are saying, obviously, you know who, that the muscle discord. They're saying that Martin might be behind. I don't agree with it. I
Not from what
agree.
I saw.
You can't say. these things. They might put an old picture on to throw off people. You know what I mean? Like Big Ram used to do. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So
I saw him at 7 weeks out, and his glutes were freaking strided, like
yeah,
almost on
so there you
stage. Like,
go.
so
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Um, Listen, Nick, if Nick comes in with that, you know, rock hard physique and that size and a smaller waist and he controls his waist, he's gonna be another, you know, he,
He's
he
gonna be a
might win.
problem.
Yeah, he might win a couple of poses, as well. And Andrew, he had to fill in a lot of places, like we always said, right? Can he do
Yes.
it, in 1 year's time from the Olympia? Not even a year, right? So it's it's uh it's going to be a real interesting Arnold Classic. I see no favorites going into the show. I mean, Andrew, I'm picking as a slight favorite, and I think Nick, if he's at his peak, he can win it as well. So
I wouldn't make any bets on that on that
no,
Arnold,
no, no, on the Arnold,
because
no way. Yeah,
they're all capable of beating each other. It
and
just really depends on the day.
I think I don't care who you are, Hadi, obviously he noticed all this hate against him, even from his own people. Um, I believe that it will affect him and it can affect him negatively, his physique, you know. You Who's to say there might have been some days he didn't train or he screwed up his diet or he got pissed off and he said, I'm not gonna go and all this
It's
crap.
possible. I mean, Hadi is like a true warrior.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's like
is,
a
but he's not any
freaking
young.
beast,
Yeah,
but just
but
depends on how he took this whole thing. Like if
yeah,
he's
and
just
those
like I'm gonna do
guys,
my thing no matter what, or if
yeah,
it got him
those
upset.
guys are really, politics and stuff. They're really crazy about their stuff and they take it to heart. And it's a shame because even though he spoke in different languages, in his language and Iranian and I used to like listening to him talk even in his own language because he had like this relaxed, way of speaking, and then what he said, if it's translated, it's like the lion will, conquer the and he's gonna come and it's like you miss those things watching them train and the footage, so it's a shame everybody went against him, If 1 minute he's the on top of the world and the next minute, everybody hates the guy, which is
Well, not everybody, but I mean, like a
no,
lot of
no, not
people.
it, but
If
it's
they
it's
don't
a shame.
share from his own country, if they're not sharing his political views, then all of a sudden they hate him. But
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
sad because it happens everywhere, it happens here, it happens
yeah, yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
If you don't share the same political views, all of a sudden you're supposed to hate the person, which is so freaking ridiculous, which is terrible, the divisiveness. But I don't want to go too far into it. But
No, no, sure.
still the people who love Hadi as a bodybuilder are going to still love him and cheer for him. And I hope that he,
Listen,
can get through this and he gets there. And
I've like I said, I've been to the World Championships and Europeans. At the Worlds, you get every country. So you have on one side here, you have a Ukrainian athlete. On the other side, you have a Russian, and they're talking to each other and they're friends, sharing ideas.
because
It's
this
not
we
them
it's not
fighting.
about
Yeah, yeah.
politics.
Yeah, it's
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 not.
something that's one thing Ben Weider refused to let it get into the sport. Politics and religion does not exist within the
It shouldn't.
IFBB.
It shouldn't.
Nothing. You're Muslim, you're Catholic, you're Protestant, you don't believe, you're atheist. I don't care. And listen, um, in on Rafael's side of the IFBB, I know not promoters, presidents of, because it's different here. You're the president of a federation of your country, and then you do shows, and I've known presidents that became slightly racist because certain shows were moving to Saudi Arabia and things like that, and they would send me emails, and I would say, "Listen, I don't agree with you. You're sounding a bit racist here, And the next minute, they would be kicked out, because you cannot have these things in the sport of bodybuilding, because it will just, destroy it from the inside and out. You cannot be racist. You cannot, hate a guy for it's just a sport of everybody coming together and enjoying themselves, and fighting for the top prize on stage. I
Well,
mean,
that's how I feel about all the sports. I mean,
I'm
it
not
should be about the sport.
every sport should be
It's
like,
about even if you look at comedians,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
comedians should go on stage and be funny. They
yeah.
shouldn't talk politics
No, no,
and try to divide people and say make
yeah,
fun of this person or making fun of that. I
yeah,
mean, if it's really jokey
yeah,
and a
yeah, yeah,
funny thing,
yeah,
it's one thing. But if
yeah,
you're really, I don't believe Hollywood stars should go up and accept awards and talk about
yeah. It's
politics.
been crazy this
All this
week.
kind,
Yeah,
I just really feel like stick to
yeah, 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 yeah.
you could obviously you could do whatever you want to, but I
Social
don't think you should be
media.
standing on a sandbox when and during
Yeah, you
certain things,
have
and I think that it should be separate.
yeah, you have your own social media channels to express your opinion. Getting an award, you
And
shouldn't.
using it as a platform to
Yeah, yeah. You'll get
preach.
it's gonna get you enemies and it's gonna get you whatever.
Yeah,
But
that's why I just think all of it is related. And I would just love because the guys, if you take somebody from every country, I mean, as long as they're good people, like generally good people, and they have
yeah, yeah,
different beliefs in who is God, and different beliefs of this and
yeah,
this,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you put them all in a gym together, all they're going to think about is like we're all bodybuilders and we're all
yeah. That's
lifting,
it. Yeah, yeah.
brothers in iron,
That's it. That's
that's
it.
it. They're not going to be thinking like, oh, your religion is Muslim, I don't like you, or you're
Yeah,
this, I don't like you, or you. That's
yeah,
not it. It's like when
yeah.
they're
Actually,
bodybuilders.
I've always asked, like, if a bodybuilder's Muslim, it's like I would be fascinated. Even other sports like soccer and stuff like that. Like, how do you manage to get in the food when you cannot eat during the day when the sun goes up? You
Oh,
only
well,
can
then
eat
there's certain religious beliefs, of course,
that.
where they're
That's amazing.
restricted.
That's
I had
amazing.
a couple of clients who used to
Big Ramy, I
that
think,
have
was like that. Yeah,
Ramadan, I
the
think it's called.
Ramadan. Yeah,
Yeah, so like, and I have to deal with that with them, and it was
yeah,
interesting, really interesting stuff.
yeah. No, no, that's okay. You talk about those things, and like, I mean, certain restaurants in Malta, because there are lots of people here that are, Muslim and stuff like that. And you drive by after midnight or 11, they're packed, they
Because
eating.
everybody gets to eat. Everybody
Everybody's eating
stuffs in their
because,
food for that little short period they have.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how, some people, manage, but that's the joy of talking about certain things, but not attacking a person. So um, anyways, I guess that's that for Hadi. I hope he comes back. I hope he comes to the Arnold, and obviously he comes to the Olympia because listen, he's just about to go over his peak. He's not getting any younger. And Hadi has a lot of miles on him. He's been competing, like Kamal used to do. World championships and the wear and tear is there. So he has to, start picking his shows. And it's a shame that near the end of his career, these things are happening. So,
Yeah, I mean, Hadi still has definitely a few years left at peak.
yeah, yeah, but
And then it'll get tough. But yeah, I mean, I hope that again, we don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, I hope that this does not prevent him from being on stage at the Arnold and the
yeah,
Olympia because this is still
yeah,
love him or hate him,
yeah,
still one of the best bodybuilders in the sport, and he should be up there.
yeah, yeah. Um, I wanted to touch upon what I want to ask your opinion because you've been to them. I haven't. What do you think of the Olympia going back to
The
the other
Orleans,
hotel,
the Orleans.
the Orleans? Yeah,
Yeah, well, I have two opinions. First opinion is I think it's great because the Orleans as a theater is a great theater to hold the Olympia. It's a it's a standalone giant theater. There's way more seating. Because listen, I was at the Olympia last year, and I was sitting in overflow seating. Now I had really good seats. Luckily, we had our press pass for basically for the Muscle News.
yeah.
We had really good seats, but they weren't the regular seats. They actually had to bring in chairs and set them up in front of the rows,
Wow.
in a lot of the rows. And so you were like sitting like in a little chair.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very comfortable, even though the seats were great. So they really needed to go to a bigger place. So the Orleans is a great arena. Now, some people might complain because I know they want to come to Vegas and be on the strip.
Okay.
It's very far off the strip, so you're really not near the strip.
Yeah, the orange, yeah, the palms. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the Orleans.
Yeah.
And it's very far off the strip. It's also, I don't want to say it's difficult to get to the convention center if you also want to go to the expo. They do, in all fairness, they do run shuttles from the Orleans, so you can do
Okay.
that. But I know a lot of people want to come and they want to like you. I mean, of course, there's Uber and all this kind of stuff. So there's ways to do it. It's just that it's a little further away, so it's a little bit more inconvenient. And as far as being an exciting hotel to stay at, Orleans is a
Yeah,
lot older
but
crowd, a lot older
listen,
type hotel. So a lot of people
do
get
do you
excited
really
about staying at the host
yeah.
hotel, but it's not a great hotel to
Do
stay
you
at.
do you really care? This is
I don't.
I mean,
I'm
isn't
talking
it?
about people who come from maybe other countries or other
Yeah,
states
but you
who've never
know,
been to Vegas and they want to be in the middle of the excitement.
yeah, I know, but going to the Olympia, my mind is like try to soak in all the experience, and you just go there to sleep at night, take a shower, and get out the next
Yeah,
morning.
I agree with you. I'm just saying I think that a lot of other
Yeah.
people are different. Like I know a lot of people don't like being so far off the strip and stuff like that. I have gone to the Olympia on a few different occasions and stayed at the Orleans. For me, it was fine. I like the convenience. I took the shuttle to the convention center when I was working with Allmax or whatever companies I was with. No problem for me. But I mean, I think it's as far as an experience for although I did hear something interesting, and I don't know if you heard this either. I heard that the pre-judging for the Open Olympia is no longer going to be at the main theater. Everything's going to be at the expo.
Yeah. I didn't hear anything like that yet. I didn't get into it yet. So
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that from a pretty good source, which I think is kind of strange because I think it's going to be kind of weird to have the men's Open has never
yeah,
been held at the expo.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but that's interesting. But as far as a good theater to watch the Olympia in,
So
Orleans is great.
so it's more of an arena now,
It's
right?
a it's just a much bigger theater.
Yeah.
It's like more of like a concert theater. It's
Okay.
much more
So
seating, much
no, because
larger.
there was the argument that Jake Wood is taking a step back because they're losing money and all this stuff. But do you think they're taking the step back going to the Orleans because the fans can have a better experience?
I personally think that the reason I don't know what all the other theaters are like in Vegas. I think that they needed a place that they want to have more room for seats. And
That's
I
it.
think that the Orleans is a place that has a much greater seating capacity.
All right.
Um, and I think that's one of the reasons. And it's been there before. They know they've run it there before. They know it's successful there. Um, and listen, it may because it's the Orleans, it could be cheaper for them there, and they
Yeah.
could
Listen.
give more prize money, or they can allocate the money differently. I don't
Yeah.
know about all the business
Listen.
stuff.
Nobody will know what their books are like. I mean, but uh, you know, I just want the show to be good. The athletes enjoy it. Obviously they're treated well. Um, and you know, I think if something was happening with the Olympia, he wouldn't be doing these big arenas and things like that. He'd be cutting things down and, you know, uh, um, here they're saying the expanding seating capacity opens the door to welcoming more attendees, creating greater flexibility for an elevated production experience, VIP suites, wider range of ticket prices, including more affordable seating options.
Right,
Yeah,
because there'll be yeah, because there's going to
yeah,
be it's a
because
bigger theater, so they'll
listen,
definitely have
yeah,
more.
I mean, going to the Olympia is not cheap, all right? If you want decent seats, it's not cheap, okay? Especially if you're coming from abroad. So if you can at least be in there and have a decent seat and not, break the bank to get those tickets, it's something.
Well, I just looked while we were talking here, and I think that the theater that was at the Resorts World, which last year held about 5,000 people, give or
Yeah, it was
take.
not much.
And this is, I just looked at the Orleans Theater and it says 9,000.
Yeah,
So it's a
see.
much bigger
Yeah,
theater. So it will allow for obviously
yeah.
many more people to come in and also probably
And
cheaper
and
seats.
people have to remember a bodybuilding show, you can only if even if it was at a bloody football stadium that houses 90,000 people, you only can use half, not even half. You can only use, from half inside, because you're looking at the show. These guys don't turn around, you know. So half this, more than half, 60% of the stadium cannot be used, So the stadium has to be, you know, you have to try to get a place where, everybody can see the show, from each angle, because it's all right. They have the big screens and things, but, you want to try to see the bodybuilders, in real life as much as you can. So,
Yeah, if you look at, I'm looking at the seating there, and the majority of all the seating, except for like two sections, you can all see the stage.
yeah,
But they have, they have lower, they have, middle tier, and then they have upper tier. It's a great theater because, and then of course you have to remember that at these shows now, they also always include the big giant TV panels so that
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
not close, you could still at
yeah,
least see
yeah,
things better.
yeah, yeah,
So, like I said, I've been to the Orleans several times, watched Olympias there, and I always thought it was a great
yeah.
theater
What,
aside from,
yeah.
what you think of the
What
hotel.
do you think in Vegas was the best location? Was there other places in Vegas?
Oh, the Mandalay
Yeah,
Bay
that's what I was going to mention to you, the
was
Mandalay
the
Bay.
best. And that, if the theater was bigger, because that held the expo and the show in the same hotel.
Didn't
So you didn't,
last year, didn't they do it there like that last year as well at the where they were? Or no, it wasn't like that.
no, it was still at the convention center,
Really?
the
Oh,
expo.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Mandalay would be everything in one place.
Everything, yeah, they had a big
That's
hall for the expo center, and they had so it was back when I used to work with VPX Sports. I used to go there every year with them, and it was great because you have your hotel room, you go downstairs, you can go to the expo, right from the expo to the theater. It was so easy, it was awesome.
that's cool.
But I don't think that the theater is. I think that the theater is a pretty small one, and now I guess
Okay.
it's getting so they can't do it there anymore. But
Yeah.
that definitely was that was the best. That was the best.
Okay. Okay.
That was the first Olympia that I went to in Vegas was the 2003 when Ronnie Coleman walked on stage at 287 and was
Okay.
just a freak of nature. Not two, yeah, 2003. That was the first one I went to, and it was at the Mandalay Bay. It was fantastic. It was
Yeah.
great.
So, okay. Who knows, maybe one day, obviously it's not as easy, but they can do the Olympia in Europe, or they might go to Dubai or something like that,
It
some
would
big,
be it'd be interesting if they ever did like either that, like they used to, move the Olympia to different places,
yeah,
or if
Italy,
they actually
Germany.
did something like kind of like with the Arnold, where they did like Mr. Olympia Europe or something like that.
Uh, Obviously they have the amateurs and stuff. No, they just bring the Olympia to you think there's nobody in Dubai that has the money,
Oh, come on now. They could put on a freak show in
and
Dubai.
they tell Jake Wood, listen, bring everybody here. It's still your show. We'll fund it. Obviously they arrange, whatever, and they can have a mega show, with,
Well, that's what it
an,
used to
an
be. It used to
expo
be
that
in
an expo that
Belgium one
never
year,
ends.
Germany,
Yeah.
Finland. They used to
Imagine
go all over the place.
imagine the Olympia was combined with FIBO.
Oh my God, that would be some monster event.
2 weeks, of
Monster.
just fucking everything, and you can not everybody on the same day. You can have physique on one day, the women's events on another day, and the Olympia, you can just have it one day in the afternoon, and you can do the pre-judging, take the guys out and just, slaughter them on stage, because I was listening to John Hansen. He was on Dave's show because he was talking about his two books of the Olympia that he published. He back then the Olympia was like 3 or 4 hours, just with the men. I mean, pre-judging and everything. I mean, I think the guys were made to work harder back then. You know, um, I don't know. Uh, I wish there was more time dedicated to the open bodybuilding and stuff like that. So, the
It's hard though, because things have changed because it used to
yeah,
be
that's
only
why
a couple of different divisions.
yeah,
Now
that's
it's
why if
like
they added an extra day, they can but obviously
I think that at some point
they'll have to.
there's gonna be a change made, whether it be separate events,
Yeah,
whether it be more days, whether it be going to Europe for some or wherever,
yeah,
Dubai or any other
yeah,
place.
yeah.
Something's going to happen soon. You feel like there's changes happening. And listen, you also don't know how much longer Jake's going to stay with the Olympia. Jake could at some point very soon say, "Okay, I've had enough," and sell it to somebody else, and they'll have a different vision.
Okay.
But you kind of feel like there's things going on where you could see because now we're going to add fit model to
Yeah,
the female, and that's going to have a ton of competitors.
yeah,
At some point, it's going to be too hard for not only the audience, but also the judges to
yeah,
deal with so much in a day or over 2 days. So
yeah,
I'm sure we're going to start seeing some change somewhere at some point.
yeah,
Everything evolves.
yeah. So so that's that for the Olympia. Do you have anything other things to talk about this
Talk
week?
about. I'm trying to think if I saw anything interesting on Instagram or Facebook or
We got a
anything.
nice comment from what's her name? I sent it to you last week. Uh
Oh, Natalia.
yeah, she
Yeah, she
liked the
liked our
bodybuilding. She liked the
she liked
female
our
bodybuilding
segment.
show. Yeah,
I immediately wrote to Natalia and I said,
yeah,
Natalia, hey, because I used to work with Natalia,
yeah,
distance
yeah,
coaching for I did her training, not her diet. But yeah, and so I was like, Natalia, remember back in the old days we used to have
yeah,
like, why don't you come on the show?
yeah. That's like I never tagged her. I tagged nobody. It's like seeing, somebody write something like that is for me, it's a boost. It's like, all right, we're slowly people are slowly watching the show. I'm not saying that, you
Hey,
know,
that's a Miss Olympia watching the show. That's a good
yeah,
thing.
yeah, and uh that's something cool. Uh it's just, it's when you live different time zones and things, like I make myself available. It doesn't matter, even if I sleep 1 hour in the night, I'll just have a couple of coffees the next day. I'll stick it through, I always put the guests first. I put you first, if
You
something comes
always
up.
do. You'll stay
I,
up till
I'm
whatever
I'm always
time.
flexible, so it's like so time difference is not a problem. It's like I quite enjoy it. It's like Eric is 12, this guy's at 3, I'm at 9, I'm at 11.
I know we're at all different,
Yeah.
coming from all different
Yeah, so
places.
my mobile is all set up with different time zones to know, like, what time people can come on and stuff. So but anyways, what else is happening in bodybuilding? What else is happening in bodybuilding?
If we can't find anything, I
No,
could probably
obviously there
do it
was a lot of
and ask Merlin question.
a lot of things I'm not even going to mention on the show. Uh, uh, that were in the news. So I'm not going to mention them.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to think if I
Wait,
saw
look,
anything interesting
this
that I'm forgetting
shit,
about.
is this recent? Milos just published it. One sec. Wow. Let me go to
What
his
is
page
Milos
to see if
publishing?
it's true. Uh, one sec, one sec. No, that's 12 weeks ago. Milos just published this. One sec. Look at this.
Well, that's Beirut.
Yeah,
It looks good. I wonder what his plan is for competing this year.
yeah. Off season. Look at that.
Yeah, he's got a great physique. I think that
Yeah,
he's going to soon be a top guy. I think he kind of like has like a almost like a Martin Fitzwater kind of physique, like
yeah, yeah,
very balanced and round and even.
yeah.
I like his
No
look.
great points, no weak points. That's
That's what I mean. Like nothing jumps out at you.
yeah.
It's just all overall very, very balanced.
Here's Mr. Monster, Samson. Hey,
Yeah,
he
I
has
think
a
that
six pack.
That's what I'm saying. He's 340 pounds with plus, and he's not out of shape. I mean, but you know what? That's weird though. He doesn't look. I don't
Big.
know. He doesn't look that much bigger than he does
Yeah.
when he's 300 pounds. Like I don't know. It's just
I
weird. It
think
doesn't
it I
translate.
think it's going to his legs. Look at his legs.
Legs are very big. His legs are big.
Let
Well, he's got
let
to get
let's
those
go into
hamstrings back.
let's go into buys and tries. They have a lot of, uh so yeah, Brandeo. He's looking big as usual. He's another surprise at the Arnold. He's at the Arnold, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I actually saw Raphael yesterday, and talked to him. And he actually was at, funny enough, he was at the Cheesecake Factory when we were there. He came over to our table when me and Jay and Dave were eating. He has gained a lot of size, man. He was training legs yesterday, killing legs, and he walked out and he was wearing like a pair of shorts, and man, his quads were just huge and thick and heavy. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
Rafa, like you're getting big, boy. I think he's closing in on about 300 pounds, and he's not in bad shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I hope to God that he keeps that beautiful balance that he has, and it looks like he does. He is, but
Look
yeah,
at
he's yeah, that's a little
Sergi.
bit
I
of a gap.
remember him like this as an amateur. I
He was
remember
great as an
him.
amateur right there. I mean, look how good
Yeah,
he
and
was.
look at here. It's pro.
He just looks like he ate himself, and he got he got twice the size.
Crazy. I remember him like that. I don't know what else is there. Uh Keon's been a bit quiet. Yeah. Yeah, here, yeah.
Yeah.
340 pound bodybuilder needs
See, that
oxygen.
says needs oxygen pump to train.
Yeah,
Now, what does that mean?
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. What
I
does that
know.
need it because he's got a health problem I can't imagine just walking around with an oxygen tank. I mean, I already think it's kind of strange the people who walk around with all these
Yeah.
electrodes stuck to their bodies.
All the comments are negative, I mean, obviously people are going to you know,
Well, people want to
Crisio
know.
looking like a beast as well.
Is that him now?
Yeah. Yeah.
It says latest
This was
update, but
about 6 days ago.
no, he's 308
Yeah,
pounds.
he's another big. I know him
It's
anyway.
amazing how many of these guys are now hitting 300 pounds in the off season.
Yeah, I met him many times. This is probably classic physique. Look at that. Classic physique is just something different, man.
I mean that's my favorite. I mean that's just my what I like to see bodybuilding
You
be.
know.
I think it's just
And we can, there's William Bonac, but William's getting up there now, so
yeah, I had heard that William was getting a little tired of
yeah,
competing
he
and
said he's getting a bit, the excitement's not there
yeah,
anymore.
he's not enjoying the
Yeah.
camaraderie as much anymore. It's not as
Yeah,
much.
listen, not all the guys used to compete with are either retired or, they just
Yeah, I mean he's still
yeah.
him
So
and him and Brandon.
yeah. Brandon, right? Yeah.
Brandon's still around. He's doing the Arnold.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he amazed us how much he improved at the Olympia. He was
yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
So we can't forget Mike, you know.
Is this a recent thing of him or?
This is about 1 week ago.
Oh, I wonder what he's doing. He just looks like he's in pretty much in shape.
No, he's gonna
Is he
do the
doing
Arnold, I
Arnold?
think, isn't he?
Oh, is he going to do the Arnold?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'm sorry, man. He just doesn't look classic. I mean, he looks like he should be 212.
yeah, yeah.
He just looks, I mean, I think he could be good in the 212,
And
man.
the minute he
Like,
loses some size, you saw what happened
yeah,
at the
because he's
Olympia.
he's full,
Yeah,
he's round. I mean, he looks like he should be standing next to like a Keon and
yeah. You saw
no.
what happened at the Olympia when he had to go down in weight.
Well, yeah, he lost a lot. And he still
His
looked
chest,
great, but he
his
lost a
chest
lot.
disappeared. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's
And Sam
basically. And
Sulek also. Sam Sulek is also looking pretty crazy
yeah,
lately. I know that.
yeah. Did you see that thing of Milos?
Yeah, looking good. And Milos still. I never ever see Milos train. I see
Yeah,
him training people. I've never seen him train.
yeah. And
But
he
he looks.
never
I mean,
shows
he's
his
like what,
arms. One of
62?
it's 62, yeah. And it's one
Yeah,
of the
still.
first time he's showing his arms because he had that problem.
Yeah. Well, he never had the greatest arms, but
Yeah, but then he you know, did that stupid thing and almost killed himself. So
yeah. Well,
yeah. So anyways,
But yeah, Melis looks good at 62. He's one of the
Yeah, yeah. So that,
I
yeah,
mean, I don't really know what else is really going on. I mean,
we've been on for an hour and a half almost, so
well, we it's fair to say that our friend is not going to be here today.
yeah, no, I'll send them a, maybe something came up, who knows, I mean, shit happens and I'm not surprised. He's a busy person, so you know, um it is what it is. We did the show anyways, and there was those topics I was going to talk about them anyways with him on the show. So the next time he's on, we'll see what else comes up, and we'll talk about them.
Well, we're also getting closer to the Arnold Classic, so things are going to start heating up with that. We'll talk
Yeah.
more about everybody in the show.
Um, uh, did you have a Merlin or no?
Yeah, I have a question actually. I was looking through my Facebook and my email, and I found something I thought was a pretty good question to quickly address. So somebody had asked me basically, I'm not going to read it straight, but it was basically like, what do I recommend? What's the best amount of sets to use per exercise and per body part, as well as reps for muscle growth,
Yeah.
because a lot of people do. They don't know, should I be doing heavy weight, 4 to 6 reps? Should I be doing lighter weight and pumping? Everybody's got different opinions. How many sets do I got to do? So, I mean, my answer to that question for anybody listening is, first of all, there is going to be some difference between what a natural athlete can do
Yeah.
and what a guy who's using PEDs can do. And that is simply because just from the standpoint of PEDs greatly enhancing recovery. So if you're natural, and not using PEDs, and even if you're using good supplements, um, your overall volume for a workout should be a little bit lower than a guy on PEDs. But to put it a little bit more as a general blanket thing, I was never the kind of person, even in my early days, that ever subscribed to the notion that you need like 30 sets of body part. Like there was a lot of, that was like a touted a lot, you need to like do 30 sets for bis and tris and 40 sets for chest, crazy amount of sets. I think the most sets I ever did for any one body part may have been legs, maybe doing 15 to 16 sets. And I didn't even do that for very long. My personal belief is that, and from what I've seen, not just my belief, but from what I believe happens physiologically, and what I also believe what I've seen through all my years of training people and myself is that I believe in intensity over volume. So I believe that doing, obviously forget about warm-up sets. Warm-up sets are warm-up sets. But I actually most of the time will do two and at the most, and usually not, 3 sets per exercise.
Yeah.
But
That's what I
usually it's
used to
two
do.
sets.
Yeah.
And but the 2 sets, I make sure not to burn myself out on
Yeah.
warm-ups. I should also point out that I think some people warm up too excessively, and that brings a lot of
Yeah.
lactic acid into the muscle, and
Yeah.
it's too much. You don't need it. I think you just need, forget about it. If you have an injury, it's a little bit different, but you just kind of basically need to show the muscle what angle it's training from at, what angle it's training at, if it's pushing or pulling,
Yeah. Yeah.
what angle it's going to push or pulling from, warm up the joints and that kind of stuff. You don't have to go crazy.
Yeah.
But putting that aside, I only think that you really need 2 really all-out work sets per movement, and I think you've done what you need to do. So I'm more along the lines of, I wouldn't quite say Mike Mentzer, who is very extreme, but Dorian Yates was kind of
Yeah.
similar in that way. Lee Labrada
Yeah.
was similar in that way. Mark Dugdale was similar in that way, who would just go for all-out intensity, 1 to 2 sets. I kind of sometimes feel like I like to use the first set, even though I'm going to crush it on the first set. I
Yeah.
sometimes feel like I need the first set as almost like a feel set. And then in the second set is even better than the first set. But then I don't feel like I need a third set usually. The
Yeah.
only time I'll do 3 sets of something generally is sometimes if I want to play with angles. So like
Okay.
let's just say if it's an inclined dumbbell press, I might want to do a 60-degree angle, 45-degree angle, 30-degree angle just to hit slightly different motor unit pools. But if I'm just doing a straight exercise like, barbell curls or, whatever, I just using the same angle, same range of motion, I'll just do 2 sets. And I believe that I feel like if you can do too much volume, you're probably not training that intensely. If you're really killing it on each set,
Yeah.
first of all, I feel like you've exhausted those motor unit pools, you've exhausted those muscle fibers. It's time to move to a new angle. And second of all, you won't be capable of killing it for so many sets. If you
Yeah.
destroy yourself, you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to do that for 30 sets unless
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
just Superman.
Yeah.
So for most body parts, quite honestly, for smaller body parts, 8 or 9 sets, like bis and tris, 8 or 9 sets. For chest and back, maybe more in the 9 to 12 range. Quads, maybe 12 to 14 range. Hamstrings, maybe 10 to 12. Nothing over like 14 or 15 sets maximum per body part. I really only think you need to maybe hit about 4 exercises generally, maybe 5 for a back, which it has a lot of different areas to hit.
Yeah.
And like I said, 2 to 3 work sets per exercise. As far as reps go,
Yeah.
there, my opinion, I think that in general, when you're talking about very low reps, a lot of people equate, they're like, well, if I lift really heavy weight, that's what builds muscle. But actually, if you go too low in reps and you stay there most of the time, you're going to really work the central nervous system
Yeah.
and your strength building abilities more so than the actual muscle. You're not going to exhaust muscle fibers. So you really need more reps for that. So bodybuilding is different than strength training, that you
Yeah.
need more reps to exhaust muscle fibers. And like I said, low rep training is more of a nervous system stimulator
Yeah.
because a lot of that has to do with the strength. That said, I do believe that bodybuilders should do some heavy training, like in the lower range. I don't believe in doing singles and doubles and things like that. That's
Yeah.
really more for powerlifters. But I would do like some sets in the 4 to 6 range or some exercises in the 4 to 6 range. But I would also work. I'm a very big believer in working across the whole continuum of reps, which is why a lot of my programs will have sets of or exercises of a 4 to 6 range, then like a 7 to 9 range, a 10 to 12 range, and like a 13 to 15 range, sometimes even a 16 to 20 range, because I do believe that there are lots of different muscle fiber types along the continuum that are slightly different from each other, and they all respond better to different rep ranges.
Okay. Okay.
So that I believe that you want to build a complete physique, you want to work all those rep ranges, and you could do it in many ways. You could do it in cycles of 4 weeks at one rep range and then move to another one, or you could do it within the same workout,
Yeah.
or you could do it workout to workout, but try to cover all the rep ranges in order to make sure that you're really hitting, all the muscle fibers and producing growth through all the different physiological pathways. But what's more important, I just want to quickly mention, than the number of reps is think about time under tension too,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, because the way one person does 10 reps and another person does 10 reps, two
Yeah.
completely different things. If you're doing really quick barbell curls,
Yeah.
you could do 10 reps in 10 seconds or 12 seconds
Yeah.
versus somebody who's moving the weight, say, really slowly, squeezing for a second, lowering really slowly.
Like
You could take 4 or 5 seconds per rep and take 50 seconds to
it's like
do.
Ben Fato, that's how he trained.
Right. And that's how I believe that people should move slower, especially on the negative.
Yeah.
Slow negatives are really great for growth.
Yeah.
Holding the stretch position of, especially stretch position movements like flies, stiff leg deadlifts, movements that have a really good stretch component to it. You should hold the stretch that also damages muscle tissue, which will bring about muscle growth. Some movements with a good peak contraction, like leg extensions, cable crossovers, hold the squeeze for a couple of seconds. Um, and then when the positive rep is there are times where I have people do really, really slow positive reps. But you could be a little bit more explosive in general in the positive portion of the rep. It's very excitatory to the
Yeah.
fast twitch muscle fibers, but slow down, move slower. You want to be under tension at, I would say, at least 30 seconds per set if you're a bodybuilder. So, and upwards of, I mean, there's some sets I have done with people and myself where the sets take as long as almost 2 minutes because
Wow.
the reps are kind of high and the reps are really slow, and we're doing slow negatives, hold it, stretch, hold the contraction. All these things are very valuable, especially as you get further along in your training career and your body becomes more resilient and becomes harder to stimulate. But as a beginner, always, think in terms of time under tension. So this could be different. So if you want to do like a 6 rep set, and you want to hit 30 seconds or 40 seconds, each rep should take about 5 or 6 seconds or 7 seconds. If you're doing a 12 rep set, you can hit that range with each rep taking about 3 seconds. So all these different variations are all good. There's no one rule
Yeah, of course.
where this is what builds muscle, this is what doesn't build muscle.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
all builds muscle. And the human body is just an incredibly adaptable machine,
yeah,
and it'll adapt to things super fast. And the longer you've been training, even faster.
yeah,
Uh, that's just the way we were built. We were built to adapt to crazy
yeah,
weather,
yeah,
to all
yeah,
kinds of different things. And it's the same thing with training. So you have to kind of throw the body off a little bit and give it different stimulus in order to optimize growth. So,
yeah,
like I said, you could do it in cycles, you could do it within workouts. And again, the more years you're not your age, but your training age, meaning how long you've been training,
hmm hmm
the longer you've been training, the more difficult it is going to be to stimulate muscle growth and the more
yeah,
variations you need in your training, more so than a beginner. A beginner is just going to build muscle from a good basic program where they're using
yeah,
good form and,
yeah,
good technique and the right exercises. But as you get, further on, and a lot of people who watch our show and who
yeah,
listen to me are people,
yeah,
I deal a lot with masters, competitors, and people in 40 plus who think, oh, I can't build muscle anymore, which is completely
yeah.
untrue.
That's bullshit. Yeah,
But you just have to vary it more. So, that's really the basic answer to the question. There's no magic one rep or one set formula, but I do believe in intensity over volume. You don't want to be in the gym for 3 hours.
yeah,
Be in the gym for 90 minutes, get out, have your meal. Once you've stimulated with a couple of really balls to the wall set, move on to another movement, another angle,
yeah,
and vary your rep ranges. But just try to, most of the time, try to be in the 30 to 45-second range about
yeah,
time under tension in
yeah,
order to make sure you're stimulating muscle fibers.
yeah.
So that's my answer.
Speaking about training and high reps and things like that, did you see Skyscraper on Netflix?
I saw that it was on there, and I saw that person who's doing it is a freak of nature, but I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
Yeah. My
Did he make
legs
it?
were
Did he make it to
numb.
the top? Well, yeah, because it's so scary. Explain to people what he was doing.
So he was climbing the Taipei 101 building. Okay. So let me
This is
show you,
freaky.
let me show you this photo of him. This is at the beginning. It took him about, anyways, I'm not going to reveal a lot. Uh,
Yeah, because people might want to watch it. But just what was he doing? What was his
he
purpose?
was climbing the
That was freaky.
Taipei 101 building. All right. This
Yeah.
is him.
And he was free climbing it.
No ropes, nothing. He
No
had
ropes,
running
no
shoes.
net,
He
no
wore
nothing.
running shoes barefooted so he can feel the steel. Steel, huh? Don't forget. And it was really windy. It was really windy. Ah, shit, you have to. Okay, so this building is let me see if it says anything. Oh,
About how many
fucking
floors it is, maybe?
oh,
What's the
views,
number?
it's views. Wait, let me see. Uh
Its views was insane. It was like 602,
yeah,
6.2 million
one sec.
views.
Taipei 101 build. Let me
I wonder, yeah, how many floors is that
yeah,
building, or how
he
tall and how
went
tall is it?
he went, my daughter told me that he did amazing stuff in the mountains as well.
Well, he's a free climber, so he doesn't even use safety.
Yeah.
So if he falls, he's dead.
Yeah. It's
He's
a
dead.
508-meter, half a kilometer. All right. 101-story skyscraper.
Jeez. What a, I mean, you have
Yeah.
to have walls of steel.
Yeah. It's 1,667 feet.
Holy crap, man. Could you,
Uh,
I mean, I wouldn't even want to stand on something and look down at that height.
I mean, you would see the view from his side of things. It was just incredible. So,
Insane. Well, he's still alive, so I guess he
yeah.
made
So this is the building. I'm telling you, my legs were
my
shaking.
legs, your legs. Look at that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
He went up to here.
He climbed all the way to that top tip.
Yeah, yeah, you have to watch it.
Holy shit. With no
No, nothing.
aids,
Nothing.
his hands and his feet.
Nothing. I'm
That is
telling you,
insane.
uh it was you have to watch it. It's not a long thing, it's
It's it's the kind of thing that you're just going to be sitting there like with your mouth open
yeah, and
and nervous.
he was talking about his training. So if somebody's into training, you can hear him talk. And certain places he had to take a rest because he was getting a pump.
I'm
He
sure
couldn't
he
get
had
a
to take,
pump.
but could you imagine taking a rest while you're standing and like looking down at what's on the
Yeah,
floor? I
so
mean,
he would get up certain places where it would be flat. That's an advantage he had, to be fair. Like, I mean, there were some places where he had to free climb, like let me see.
well, he had to free climb all those windows, window to window.
Some of them, like you see this, he had to just use his hands. One sec. Uh,
Okay, guys, we know this is not bodybuilding, but what the
I know,
heck? Let's
but
just,
it's fitness. It's fitness.
yeah, he has to be
Look,
strong.
look, this is where he had to use his hands only.
Could
Can
you
you
though?
imagine
I
if he
mean,
slipped, and it's hot as well, it's
dude,
steam.
if he slips, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's a mush.
Unbelievable.
I
I'm telling
would
you,
that you couldn't pay me every dollar in the world to even try half that. I mean, no way.
listen, you know, you know,
That's a different set of balls
he
right
had
there. I
an
mean, that is a
earphone
different.
on.
You have to have.
He had it talking to the guys at the bottom, talking to his wife. It's like fucking, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a feat of strength. I mean, I love gymnastics. I love the upper body strength that the athletes have. And you can see their build, the big biceps, the shoulders,
Oh yeah, gymnasts a lot have
when
tremendous
they do the
physiques.
Y, when they do the K,
The rings
everything.
and things. Yeah, they're tremendous physiques.
This guy, when you watch the documentary, he talks about the reps he does. Back, pull-ups it's
Oh, he
just
must. It's
it's
a very special kind of strength that he
the
has.
guy
Now, so
is
you talk about in strength,
yeah.
muscular endurance,
No.
regular endurance,
Listen,
and the
it's
focus.
it's not just bodybuilding, I get impressed with guys that, women that do these type of things, and I'm always interested, okay, you can do that. How did you train for that? The abdominal core, the arms, the diet, uh, and he did the thing. It was like he wasn't out of breath, nothing. The only thing he was worried about, I kept hearing him say, my arms are getting pumped. So he didn't want to have the pump because
No, because that's lactic acid, and he doesn't want to feel that.
and there were moments where he would just hang on with his legs and just go like this with his, I mean, Jesus.
Oh my God, I can't even
Well, I'm
imagine.
telling you, watch it
I
and
was going to watch it. I just haven't watched it yet because I was
no,
talking about it with
watch
a
it,
friend of
and
mine.
it's like you'll be like, just thinking about what can happen with.
I know if I watch it, I'm going to have nervous as if I'm doing it. Like I'm going to
Yeah,
have nervous feeling in my
I was
chest.
really nervous. My legs, I was feeling like, how you look when you look at the edge of something really high.
I hate it. I don't like
That's
looking over and
that's the
going,
feeling I got, you know.
I know, I know.
Wow, balls
It's
of
incredible.
steel. I'm telling you.
Incredible.
People
That's an
complain
incredible
because they,
feat. Incredible feat. I mean, listen, even just climbing, the way the guys, stick the things into the mountain and then
yeah,
climbing
yeah,
up
yeah,
and they
yeah,
have ropes attached. So
yeah,
if they
yeah,
fall, even that freaks me out.
yeah,
But this guy is climbing a building with no, I mean, if he falls, he's done.
yeah.
That's
He's
it.
always, he had his powder at the back, always using it, because listen, man,
He needs the grip.
it's just amazing.
I wouldn't even want to be put hanging for like a sec. I wouldn't even want to be there for a second.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's amazing.
It's amazing. But anyway,
Yeah. But
but he did use
it is
training.
fitness, it's bodybuilding and fitness. Doing something like that it's
Well, you know what the cool thing is about all of these different endeavors and sports and things? All of them find their way to bodybuilding, and
yeah,
not bodybuilding the sport, but in the
training. Yeah.
gym and
Yeah,
lifting weights and
yeah,
just using them differently and for specificity for what you have to do.
yeah,
So it's like boxers will use weight training in their
yeah. Of
way, and
course.
football players will use it in their way, and wrestlers will use it in their way, and he'll use
Listen,
it in his way, and skaters use it,
soccer. You never used to see
soccer,
them.
tennis,
You
everything.
never used to see them lifting weights because people used to say they're muscle bound. But I love watching soccer players train in
Yeah,
the winter. They're in
yeah,
the gym
that's what
before
I'm
they go
saying.
on the
That
field. Yeah.
everything bleeds into weight training, and that's one of the
Yeah.
things I love being about
Okay.
being a coach.
They're
Is
not
I used to
lifting.
love training all different
They're
athletes. It
not
was
lifting
great.
those heavy weights. They're doing more balancing exercises, core. You know,
Foundation core.
it's good. I mean, probably if I had to do a workout with them for one day, I probably wouldn't survive it, because then you think these guys are doing cardio and then they have to run and practice, soccer.
I'm sure if
You're
you took the
running
best bodybuilder in the world and made him do his workout, they wouldn't be able to keep up.
nothing.
And vice versa, because it's a
Yeah, of
different type
course.
of training.
Yeah,
It's a different
yeah.
type of training.
No, the guy is, God bless him. Hopefully, he
What does he do? What do you do after this?
I think this was a lifelong dream.
Yeah, like could you even think about topping that? I
No,
mean, what are you
I
gonna
think
do?
I think he's been training for this his entire life.
Yeah, okay. Well, I
Yeah,
think he could be done now.
yeah. I
It
mean,
must be so boring for him to like, I don't know, climb a flight of
can you
stairs.
imagine something gets on your roof? It's not a problem. Let me go up there and say,
Oh yeah, just climb. Yeah, whatever. You
listen,
know,
who knows how much he studied it, the wind direction. Uh,
I
you
I
know,
can't even imagine what actually goes into what
listen,
he.
some buildings cannot be climbed. It's not every building can be
Well,
climbed.
you have to be able to actually have something physically to grab
Yeah,
onto. You can't
yeah,
climb on it, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But
But
I remember what movie it was. One of the Mission Impossible movies where I think that he was climbing the outside of like it was just windows, but he had like
yeah,
these sticky
yeah,
things. They'd stick it on and they would climb and stick
yeah,
it. And
yeah,
even that freaks me out,
yeah,
like it's just
yeah,
I couldn't be up and look back and
yeah,
see like sometimes when they have those movies, I think maybe like in the original Matrix movie where you have to climb out on a ledge and you're trying to
yeah,
like go on the
yeah,
ledge to the next
yeah,
window and
yeah,
you look down. I couldn't do that. There's no
yeah.
way. I'd be like,
And please,
whatever, just capture me. I'm done.
yeah, and please note to get to that part of the ball, um, there was either before that he had to climb with a ladder because there was nowhere to grab. The
Yeah,
ladder
he's
was
got
only
it.
this
Yeah.
wide, huh?
Yeah, there's sometimes, yeah, you have
It
to have
was only
something.
this wide wire, and it was like going everywhere with the wind. So that wasn't easy at all, huh?
No.
Nothing. So it wasn't like stuck to it. They just like threw down a temporary, I think. It was
Yeah.
this wide. I mean, he barely
Yeah.
could use it.
And you
So
have to imagine what the wind is like
yeah, it was.
up when you get a high. If
Yeah,
it's a windy day,
yeah, yeah,
holy crap, that's
yeah.
gonna could blow you right off.
You know what this I compared this to as like feeling, God forbid something happens. Remember that guy? I think he passed away with a freak accident. Remember that guy that jumped from the air balloon in space of Red Bull?
Oh yeah, the one who he did a skydive from out in outer space.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
I
then he
saw
started
that.
flipping. He thought he
And
was
he and
losing.
he and he made it. He
Yeah,
broke. He was
yeah,
going at like some record-breaking speed. It was
yeah.
the highest. I mean, literally,
The
if you anybody
world.
watches this video, he's standing on a
Yeah, I
platform and
saw it
literally you
live.
can see the Earth,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like a space Earth,
yeah,
and
yeah,
jumped
yeah. I watched it
and
live.
then
Yeah,
skydived that thing
yeah,
and
yeah.
made it. Insane.
Can
Insane. That was insane. I was like
yeah,
looking at him going, no, 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 don't jump
yeah.
off that
I
platform.
think he had
No.
a I think he had a freak accident. He fainted or something, doing something and sky gliding, and he just crashed. That's what I heard.
Is he dead?
I yeah,
Oh, I don't know. I thought he was alive. You don't have to look
that,
it up here. I'm
yeah.
just saying, I was
Well,
just curious
we'll end off with that.
because I saw that just recently. My friend made me watch it because we were talking about this building climb, and then he told me about that, and I was like, I got to see this. It was unbelievable
Yeah,
to I mean,
yeah.
jumped from
Felix.
outer space, basically.
Yeah, his name is Felix Baumgartner, Austrian daredevil. Uh, yeah, he was paragliding and he crashed.
Did he die?
Yeah, at 56 in
Really? He died
2020.
paragliding, but didn't die on that jump.
Last year in July.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
So he jumps from space and he crashes with a
With a
motorized
paraglide,
power.
which was probably just fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. You know, yeah.
All
Well,
right. Well, interesting
that
way to
was
end the
his
show.
num but he lived the life as the way he wanted to for sure. I mean,
Well, he did something that nobody else, I don't know who's going to match that,
oh, who's
jumping from
gonna
outer
you have to be
space.
fucking out here, man. You have to I don't know.
Some people do things that are just
Yeah.
so incredible
I
that I
remember
can't look at.
when we were young, Evil Knievel was the guy that used to impress us,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
And since then, it's gotten
jumping,
off the rails.
yeah, doing those jumps and breaking his bones and coming back and
How
then
many
jumping
times that
again.
guy busted his body up?
Who?
Evil Knievel, how many broken
Oh,
bones that guy had? How many
crazy.
operations?
That's another fucking.
Nut job.
Anyways, that's it for today. I think we,
Yep.
we we managed to do a show on the fly, so
Yeah, what the heck?
um, but
Guerrilla warfare.
oh yeah, it was good. We'll be back next week, I think, with a guest, right?
I believe so with a guest, but we're not
With
going to
a,
say anything because we don't like to announce it because you never
it's not
know.
fair for the person. It looks, it's not disorganization. It's just, this is not a show where they're on every week. We're trying to get them in during a busy schedule, during the day.
Yeah,
Because of me, it's during the day. You're during the day working, and I'll be finished work, and so it's a bit of a difficult situation with the time difference, but people will come on. It's not a
yeah.
problem. So
Anyway,
that's it for now, and we'll
yep.
see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Like, share,
yeah, that's right.
subscribe,
Like, share,
and put in
share,
comments, man. Put in some
comment,
comments if you want
even watch
anything interesting.
the older videos and comment about them. So we'll there's always something to talk about.
Yep.
See you guys later.
Yep. See you next week.
Bye.